Hello and good afternoon, my gladiators. Welcome to video 1, which is entitled Pathways to Medicine. Now, I think this video is very important because there's a common misconception that there's one traditional route to apply to medical school, which is to complete undergrad and matriculate straight into your freshman year of medical school. Although that may be true, and that is a way to enter medical school, I would like you to understand that there are a variety of different ways and pathways that you can enter medicine. Now, on my journey to medical school, I kind of had to learn these things on the fly, and I did a lot of research on the different programs that were available to me. So I like to use the analogy that I fumbled the ball so you don't have to, and I am sharing all of my expertise that I've gained over the duration of my application that was deemed successful, because I will be starting my med school year 1 in August 2019. Now, there are 7 different pathways that I have highlighted here today on my board, beginning with the traditional route, which is to apply during or after undergrad. Now, I say during or after because if you really want to be proactive and matriculate straight into medical school upon completion of your undergraduate year, you need to be thinking ahead for your junior year. So that means junior year, you need to have your MCAT taken and also begin completing your AMCAS application, which requires a year in advance. And applying with AMCAS is going to be unlike anything you've ever applied for. You have to be diligent, attention to detail, and must apply as early as possible. Video 2 will be entitled Navigating the AMCAS Application, where I will go more into that. But just understand that unless you are doing all of the right things during your junior year, you're going to have what you call a gap year. Now, gap year always comes with negative connotations that I kind of don't like, because there's nothing wrong with taking a gap year. Gap years are great. It offers you extra time to take your MCAT, more time to get clinical exposure if you feel like you need it, more time to get research experience if you feel like you need it, and also it gives you a lot of time to prepare for your AMCAS application. Now, moving into number 2 is applying straight from high school. So I'm talking to my juniors and seniors in high school right now. This was a very great option that I didn't realize existed until now, until it was time for me to apply, where certain schools such as CUNY School of Medicine, also known as Sophie Davis School of Medicine, and this one actually is only for New York residents, but you can apply straight out of high school to what is referred to as a BSMD program, where you can kind of get 2-for-1 special in this instance. So the benefit of this is that it only is 7 years versus the traditional route where you would have a 4-year bachelor degree and a 4-year medical degree. You kind of shave off a year. And these are some examples of schools that have the BSMD program. These are just a couple of 3 off the top of my head. If you do your research, you will see, just look up schools that have the BSMD program. To all my high schoolers, if you really have it in your heart to do medicine, this is a great way to get it done. Moving into number 3, Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine. Now, a DO, whenever you see the initials DO, that is a physician. That is the person that took the MCAT. That is the person that went to medical school and completed a residency. The only difference between DO and MD is the philosophy of medicine. So MDs will have an allopathic philosophy of medicine versus DOs who have an osteopathic, more holistic view of patient care, and they do what we call laying of the hands, which is osteopathic manipulative treatment, where they actually have an extra bag of techniques that they use in their medical practices to adjust. For example, I know one off the top of my head is CSF fluid, where they kind of make adjustments to their patients, and that alters the flow of CSF fluid and gives them the clinical outcomes that they would like. Now, for DOs, something extra is that after DO school, you can take the COMLEX, which is required of you, and you can kind of double up your chances on achieving residency by taking the USMLE as well. So if you're a DO, you can apply to DO residencies and MD residencies as well. I thought that was pretty interesting. The application service is a little bit different. For MD programs, it's going to be AMCAS, and for DO schools, it's AACOMAS. And one unique thing is that unlike AMCAS, where you do not need a letter of recommendation from a physician, for your DO application, you must have a DO write you a LOR that you have shadowed. So definitely you have to make sure that you have a relationship with a DO, osteopathic physician, that can help you out on your way to medical school. Moving forward from DOs, we have graduate school. Now, graduate school is a great option to enhance your competitiveness for medical school. I named my brand School Gladiator because medicine is something that you need to be tough, you need to be resilient, and you need to be able to bounce back from any kind of shortcomings or what you deem as failures. So if you did not feel like you had the stellar performance of a lifetime in undergraduate, there's always chances to prove yourself and to come back. Graduate school is one of those great options where, unlike a post-bac program, you get a fresh start at your GPA, which is huge. With post-bac programs, when you have such a large accumulation of credits, it kind of makes it difficult to have substantial boosts in your GPA. So if you're feeling pretty okay about your GPA and you might need to take a couple prereqs over, or if you didn't take any STEM courses, you were not a STEM major, and you decided later on to go to medical school, post-bac would be pretty good for you, where you can take those prerequisites and enhance your GPA a little bit. Versus graduate school, you get the research experience, you get a fresh start at GPA, and also you might bump into a graduate school program that is actually a bridge to a medical school. So just a little bit more about the grad school programs. I would prefer to apply to graduate schools that will accept my MCAS score. I think sitting for the GRE, if you know for sure you are going to medical school, you want to be a physician, you are not applying to any PhD programs, I think it's kind of a waste of time to sit and take the GRE. Even if you do want to get to graduate school, there are lots of graduate programs that understand that pre-meds are trying to get to medical school ultimately, and that the MCAT holds the most weight, quite frankly. It holds the most weight as an entry exam score. Just a quick tidbit, I applied to a medical school program and was not accepted, but their pharmacy program at the institution told me that they would waive my PCAT and accept my MCAT score as my PCAT because I did very well in the chemistry section of my MCAT. So understand that your MCAT holds a lot of weight. This is probably the most difficult entry exam that can be taken, and so programs, graduate schools will accept that score. Go ahead and do your research, call maybe admissions and ask them, do they accept MCAT scores? So that's number one. And number two, I would preferentially prefer to apply to graduate school programs at medical schools. So an example of one could be the MHS program at Meharry, where that program is a direct pipeline to their medical school. So you complete their Master of Health Science, it's 2 semesters, you take their graduate school coursework, and upon completion of a 3.75 GPA, or better, you get automatic entry into the following incoming class. So if I did something like MHS program now, during the summer I started, I continue in the fall, and in the spring, the class of 2020, I would have a graduate automatic seat contingent upon me having that graduate school GPA that was required of me. Moving forward to the post-bac programs, as I was saying before, it is a great way to enhance GPA or maybe have a career change in mind. And when it comes to prerequisites, understand that medical schools are actually now shying away from having strict prerequisite courses that they want to have their students take by the time they matriculate, because they want to have a more diverse and more broad body of students apply. So if you say you have to have all of these courses, because to be completely honest, the biology, bachelor's of biology, is the main one that really checks off every single prereq you really need for medical school. So to shy away from just getting only bio majors or chem majors and things like that, they are opening it up where they're changing their prereqs or they no longer require prereqs at all. So definitely look up admissions website of your schools of interest and find out what are the prereqs, if they even have any. A great resource for all post-bac and bridge programs is aamc.org/post-bac with 1 C. Or you can simply just Google AAMC programs list and it will come right up. It'll be the second link that you'll see. And this has every pre-med, post-bac, and bridge program in the country. You can apply filters to whether you want one for an underrepresented and minority, career changer, academic enhancement. I'll show more video tutorials on how to navigate that tool, but you can use different filters and it will show you literally every option that's available for you in the country. Now understand that not all bridge programs you can apply to. Some programs have strict rules where you must be denied from the program to gain acceptance. So off the top of my head, FSU has one like that where they only select bridge program students from their AMCAS application pool. So definitely check it out. And on this website, the tool, it would let you know, can you apply or can you be selected for these programs. It'll let you know everything that you need to know about a program. And like I said, researching the specifics of the programs you're interested in is always a great idea. Now, graduate school, post-bac, and I'm going to go ahead and create another category called pipeline programs. So specific programs that are designed to pipeline or funnel students into a program I deem as a pipeline program. So rather you're doing summer programs at medical school institutions to prove that you can handle the rigors of the coursework, or you're doing graduate school like the Meharry Master of Health Science, where you take the biomedical engineering courses, biomedical science, courses, and upon completion with a certain GPA, you will be given acceptance into the institution. Drexel, Direct Pathway to Medical School, is also another good one. And notice the change in lingo, where it's like Meharry of Master of Health Science versus Certificate of Molecular and Biomedical Sciences at FIU. So certain programs will give you a certificate, and certain programs will give you an actual graduate school degree, depending on the kind that you choose. And once again, all of these pipeline programs, all of these pre-med, post-bac, and bridge programs can be found on the AAMC tool. Now, last but not least, I will discuss the international medical school programs. 3 of them that I've chose to highlight are AUC, the American University of the Caribbean, located on the island of St. Martin. I actually used to live on the island of St. Martin, so I'm very, very familiar with that program. Ross University School of Medicine. It used to be located on Dominica, but it recently moved to the island of Barbados. Very beautiful island. And SGU, St. George's University. I know many friends who have matriculated through this school and are in very renowned, stellar residency programs. So I know there's often a stigma associated with the foreign medical school graduates, but understand that so long you have a medical degree and you can pass those board examinations, you will be a physician. You can kind of use the analogy of name brand. Like everybody wants a name brand degree or your name brand clothes or name brand anything, but the generic value is still there. A t-shirt is a t-shirt. It's going to wear the same way. Whether it's Gucci, Louis Vuitton, no matter the brand name. So understand, you can get it done using the international medical school programs. The only difference is my entering class is about 86 students, versus here is going to be about 300 to 500 students in your entering class. And the attrition rate is going to be vicious. So by the time you get to the end of your first year, you're probably going to be about half of that. So understand that they are for-profit schools. These 3 are federally accessible for financial aid. So whenever they have the approved American curriculum at the Caribbean medical schools, you can use FAFSA, you can take out loans, you can get the financial aid that you need, and you can be a physician. You just have to, work a little bit harder when you're out there because you have large class size. The curriculum is built to kind of weed out the students, and, it's different. For most of you guys, you are American students, you're from the U.S., and to move to a foreign country for an island, it will be different. It can present its challenges. And when you return, you do have to take an extra little hurdle, which is the ECFMG certification. But once again, it is very doable. I hope this video helped you guys out. And once again, my Med School Gladiators, never be afraid to seek extra help that you need. I am on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, or you can send me an email at medschoolgladiator@gmail.com. I am here to help, And hopefully you guys will stay tuned, like, share, and subscribe.